Have you ever wondered what it feels like to have your whole life change in a single night, to go from ashes to a crown? This is the untold story of a girl whose kindness lit a kingdom, and whose single glass slipper changed fate forever. But before the magic came heartbreak, before the dream came the cruelty, and before Cinderella she was just a lonely girl, forgotten in her own home. Once upon a time, in a peaceful kingdom wrapped in golden fields, there lived a kind-hearted girl named Ella, known to everyone as Cinderella, for her hands were always covered in ashes. After her gentle mother passed away, her father, desperate for companionship, remarried a woman named Lady Priscilla, a woman whose smile hid envy sharper than glass. Lady Priscilla had two daughters, Jezra and Calla, who were just as proud and heartless as their mother. They spent hours quarreling over ribbons, jewels, and who looked prettier in the mirror. Not long after the wedding, Cinderella's father had to leave on a long voyage. The moment he disappeared beyond the hill, Lady Priscilla's mask of kindness vanished. "All the housework shall be yours," she declared. From that day on, Cinderella scrubbed floors, carried buckets of water, washed endless piles of linen, and prepared every meal while the others mocked her from the comfort of their silk chairs. And yet, even in her misery, Cinderella's heart stayed gentle. Every morning, she whispered her worries to a white dove that perched outside her attic window, her only friend in a world that had forgotten her name. One evening, as she hid a few crumbs of cheese for the little mice in the kitchen, her stepsisters caught her. "Mother, Cinderella's stealing our food again," cried Jezra. "I wasn't stealing," Cinderella said softly. "I was only feeding the hungry." "A thief and a liar," Lady Priscilla sneered. "Disgraceful creature." Just then, a knock thundered at the door. It was a royal messenger. "By order of His Majesty, Prince Leonhart shall host a grand ball tomorrow night. Every maiden in the land is invited." The hall erupted in squeals. Jezra and Calla twirled in excitement, already imagining the prince's gaze upon them. Cinderella's heart fluttered with a tiny spark of hope. Maybe, just maybe, she could see the castle too. But that hope was soon crushed. "Clean our gowns, polish our shoes. And you," Lady Priscilla smirked, "you may come only if you finish picking every lentil from the ashes before sunset." It was an impossible task. But Cinderella, desperate to go, knelt by the ashes and began sorting through the dirt. Seeing her tears, the mice and the dove flew to her aid. In minutes, they picked every single lentil and filled the bowl. "Mother, look! I did it!" she said joyfully. But Lady Priscilla laughed coldly. "You can't go dressed like that. Stay home where you belong." Cinderella watched them leave in their sparkling carriages. She ran to the garden and cried beneath an old hazel tree her mother had planted long ago. "Oh, Mother, if only you were here!" Then the air shimmered. The branches trembled, and from the silver light appeared a gentle fairy, her gown made of starlight and moon dust. "Do not weep, dear one," she said softly. "I am your fairy guardian. You have been brave and kind when no one else was. Tonight, kindness shall be rewarded." "How can I go to the ball like the?" Cinderella whispered. "With a touch of magic," said the fairy, smiling. "Bring me a pumpkin." Cinderella hurried back with one from the garden. The fairy lifted her wand, a swirl of gold, a sparkle of light, and suddenly, the pumpkin transformed into a shimmering crystal carriage. The mice became proud white horses, and the dove turned into a coachman with silver buttons on his coat. "Now, for you." The fairy waved her wand once more. Cinderella gasped as her tattered clothes turned into a royal blue gown, her hair glowing like sunlight, and upon her feet appeared delicate glass slippers, shining brighter than any diamond. I look like a princess," she whispered. "You are one," said the fairy. "But remember, my dear, when the clock strikes 12, the magic will fade." Cinderella thanked her with tears of joy and set off for the royal castle. As she entered the grand ballroom, every gaze turned to her. The music paused. Even the prince himself, tall, graceful, and kind-eyed, was struck silent. "May I have this dance?" he asked, offering his hand. As they danced beneath the chandeliers, it felt as if time itself had stopped. Cinderella forgot her sorrow, forgot her pain, until the clock began to toll. Bong! Bong! "Oh no!" she gasped. "I must go." She fled down the marble staircase, her glass slipper slipping from her foot. The prince called out, "Wait! I don't even know your name." But she was gone, leaving behind only the glimmering slipper. The next morning, the prince's decree spread through the kingdom: "Whoever the slipper fits shall become my bride." Every maiden tried it on. Jezra, Calla, even Lady Priscilla demanded a turn. None could make it fit. Meanwhile, Cinderella was locked in the attic, watching the world pass her by. But destiny would not be silenced. That night, when the search party arrived at her home, the little mice gnawed through the lock and freed her. "Wait," she said, stepping forward shyly. "May I try the slipper?" Lady Priscilla laughed. "You don't be ridiculous." But the prince's guard stopped her. "Every maiden, by royal order." Cinderella sat down. The slipper slid on perfectly. The prince's eyes widened. "It's you," he whispered. "The girl from the ball." "My name is Cinderella," she said softly. He knelt before her. "Will you marry me, my lady?" Tears shimmered in her eyes as she nodded. And so, Cinderella's days of sorrow turned into a lifetime of joy. The prince and Cinderella were married in the royal castle under golden banners, and their love became a legend told for generations. Because sometimes, even in ashes, a heart can shine brighter than glass. If you believe kindness can change destiny, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. More magical stories await, right here, where fairy tales come to life. Sparkles.